only about a third of the employees in the United States are actively engaged in their office, meaning that they will come in. If something happens, they will take care of it as well as doing what they would normally be hired to do. 50%, it's actually 51% of employees are what is determined as disengaged, meaning they're simply there to exchange time for a paycheck. They're not bad people, but they come to work, they show up on time, they go to lunch on time, they go home on time, they do what they're supposed to do, and they go home. If something happens, that's not my problem. That's not my job. They're disengaged. The remaining small percentage are actively disengaged. They're basically looking for the door. So what we're trying to do is flip that third in half. If we can get half of your employees to be actively engaged, where something comes up like COVID, how do we get around that? And then knock that disengaged down to about a third. The ones who are actively looking for a job, they're going to find a new job eventually. So we don't focus on them. We're just trying to get that small group to go from being a 9-to-5er to a 9 to 8 to 5:05. That 5 minutes is huge. We're just trying to get them to open up and ask for help and say, okay, you know what? I don't understand this. Give me some help with this. And having somebody else on the team saying, okay, yeah, let me help with that. Take 5 minutes.
It sounds like you're working to build leadership within individuals, no matter what their role is in the company, that they can still be a leader. So talk to us about that. Why is it important to build leadership within individual companies? And how does Adaptive Workshops help accomplish that?
Well, the leadership roles are obviously always going to be a leadership role. You're going to have people who are in charge. Even if it's your own person working remotely. I mean, we talked a little bit about this a second ago, where you have people that are in the office or at a store versus remote people who are at their home office working remotely or coming in online to do stuff. Whether that person is by themselves or in a group, somebody has to take that leadership role. So even if they're by themselves, and especially these days when so many people work from home, they have to have that self-leadership just to get through the day. Otherwise, things just don't get done as well. That, from the perspective of a business owner, that's the difference between success and failure. If those businesses will have teams or can get teams to be actively engaged, even just a little bit more, those teams are enormously more successful. And there's actually, I have a lot of quotes on the website about different things. So one of them is a research that IBM did, that highly engaged teams have a nearly 3x return on assets. So when you're talking about paying rent, 3 times the return on assets and nearly double the return on sales. So your sales efforts that we were just talking about with Jason, those efforts are hugely rewarded if you have an actively engaged team. And that's huge on the bottom line of your business.